Listen to the remarks of Admiral Jerome Johnson, United States Navy retired, former Vice Chief of Naval Operations.
One of the major challenges facing our military leadership today are the basic core values: courage, commitment, honesty, integrity, and professional competence. As a Texas Aggie, career naval officer, naval aviator, and the former Vice Chief of Naval Operations, I'm very familiar with these basic core values and their challenge to our leadership today. The God in the Military series provides biblical answers to these questions. The fundamental questions of, is it right to bear arms? And what about the admonition, thou shalt not kill? Tommy Nelson does a superb job in providing biblical background and answers to these fundamental questions. I'm pleased to recommend to you God in the Military series with Tommy Nelson.
The featured speaker for this series on God and the military is Tommy Nelson. Tommy is the pastor of a non-denominational church in Denton, Texas, and he is the father of 2 boys, one of whom serves in the military. Tommy has dealt personally with these issues concerning the biblical foundation for military and whether it is right to bear arms. In this series, Tommy also addresses such questions as, is it possible to serve in the military and also obey the 10 Commandments? And what about thou shalt not kill?
Why a discussion about God and the military? Well, I think there are 2 reasons. One is simply the question of ignorance. In 1996, I was in Florida doing a Bible conference. And one morning, I did about a 20-minute session on what is the biblical purpose of the military. And although many of the people there were career people in the military, they said that it was one of the most enlightening sessions they'd ever had. I think, to make a long story short, in the 1960s, we simply replaced God with man. And a lot of those institutions that had God as their basis, their origin, and as their creedal statement, the hum, the military, we simply lost touch with who they were. We held them with a lack of authority, with contempt, with a lack of respect. So number one, we do this to inform as to what God thinks, what is His purpose for the military. And another reason with me is very personal. I have a son named Benjamin. He's a specialist in Fort Riley, Kansas, and I shared these truths with him before he left on his tour of duty. And I can wish for nothing greater than to share with some other man or woman, son or daughter, as to just what God thinks about them. What is their responsibility and their role? We are at Texas A&M University in Bryan College Station, Texas, a university that has long served our country in sending men and women to all 4 branches of the service. We're going to have 3 sessions. The number one is to answer the question, what does God say about the military? What is their purpose? The second question is over the most asked question among military personnel. Is it right to employ the use of deadly force? And the third is to answer other leading questions that military personnel have. But I hope that you understand that this video, these sessions that we have for you, is not merely for you, but it's to you. Because you are the people that day after day are a phone call away from laying your life down. You're a heartbeat away from conflict. You lay your life down for people like me. No one needs to understand more their position with God in eternity than you. And our prayer is that you can have as much confidence in God's purpose for you as you can in your weapon. We pray that you can go forth with a peace with God as you defend the peace of our country.